Today we live in a world that does not leave the mind a chance to calm down. Endless notifications, fast content, instant fun, and short moments of pleasure are repeated without stopping. Over time, a person begins to notice something dangerous: poor focus, decline in will, loss of passion, and inability to adhere to any long-term goal. Here begins the real question: what happens to our minds? In Dopamine Discipline, the writer Radhi Moore takes us to the depth of the problem to reveal that the defect is not in intelligence, ambition, or even strength of character, but in the disruption of the dopamine system within the brain. That nervous carrier that was created to reward the effort has transformed our time into a tool that drains us due to the overly quick pleasure. I said your ability to be patient and achieve. With time, hard work becomes heavy, focus is painful, and commitment is almost impossible. An internal force that does not depend on momentary motivation, but on conscious discipline. About commitment: if you know what to do but not do, this book is written for you. Dopamine Discipline is not only a book to change your habits, but to change your relationship with your own mind and put you back in leadership position, not dependency. Chapter 1. The Dopamine Trap: How We Lost Control of Our Minds. In this chapter, the book presents the fundamental truth upon which everything else is built. We are not suffering from laziness or lack of ambition, but from a deep imbalance in the brain's reward system. To understand this, we must first understand what dopamine is and why it exists. Dopamine is not the happiness hormone as commonly believed. It is the hormone of anticipation and drive. It is released when a person pursues a goal, exerts effort, or endures difficulty while expecting a future reward. In natural conditions, dopamine rewarded patience and effort, pushing humans toward progress, learning, and building. But the problem began with the rise of instant rewards. Smartphones, social media, short videos, games, and excessive entertainment, all flooding the brain with high dopamine stimulation without real effort. Over time, the brain learns a dangerous lesson. Why endure effort when pleasure is instantly available? This is where the trap begins. Gradually, dopamine tolerance increases, and the brain requires stronger stimulation to feel the same reward. The result: loss of focus, quick boredom, weakened willpower, difficulty starting meaningful work, and aversion to deep or long tasks. The author explains that the most dangerous part is not visible addiction, but silent addiction. Mindless scrolling, endless switching between apps, passive viewing. It trains the brain daily to escape effort. The brain does not distinguish between harmless and destructive pleasure. It only understands one thing: ease. And the more it becomes accustomed to ease, the more real work feels mentally painful, even when simple. Thus, a person loses control without realizing it, not because they are weak, but because their nervous system has been reprogrammed. Intention alone is not enough, and temporary motivation collapses because the problem runs deeper. This chapter is not about blame, but about removing the illness. Chapter 2. How the brain is rewired into addiction without realizing it. After revealing the dopamine trap, this chapter asks a more dangerous question. How did this rewiring happen in the first place? Humans do not wake up suddenly addicted or distracted. It happens slowly, quietly, and without resistance. The brain learns through repetition, not intention. Even if you intend to be disciplined, repeated exposure to instant rewards will train the brain to prefer them automatically. One of the most powerful mechanisms is variable reward stimulation. Unpredictable notifications, unexpected likes, surprising videos. This unpredictability keeps the brain in a constant state of anticipation, releasing dopamine not from pleasure itself, but from expectation. This is the same mechanism behind addiction. You never know when the reward will come, but you keep checking, scrolling, and searching endlessly. Another critical concept is dopamine desensitization. Chapter 3. Why Discipline No Longer Works. This chapter presents a difficult but relieving truth. If you are trying to be disciplined and failing repeatedly, the problem is not your character. It is the environment and strategy you are using. Traditional discipline: push yourself, just resist, no longer works in a world saturated with stimulation. You are not facing one temptation. You are facing a constant stream of scientifically engineered distractions. The brain operates on cost and reward, not values or ideals. If easy reward is always available, long-term effort becomes irrational from the brain's perspective. Willpower is also limited. Every act of resistance consumes it. Eventually, it collapses, leading to relapse. Common mistakes include relying on motivation spikes, trying to change everything at once, self-blame after failure, and assuming failure equals weakness. These approaches worsen the problem because they ignore neuroscience. The brain changes gradually, not through commands. Real discipline begins not with, "What should I add?" but, "What should I remove?" Remove distractions, reduce stimuli, and close dopamine drains. Environmental discipline is stronger than self-discipline. When your environment supports the right behavior, discipline becomes effortless. Chapter 4. Dopamine Reset, Restoring Focus and Strength. This is where transformation becomes practical. The goal is not suppression or harsh deprivation, but restoring the brain to its natural baseline. The first step is reducing high dopamine stimuli, not abruptly, but gradually. Less scrolling, less fast content, fewer interruptions. Then comes a crucial principle, learning to tolerate boredom. Boredom is not the enemy, it is a sign of recovery. When you sit without stimulation, the brain initially resists, but if you persist, creativity and focus return. Dopamine reset means reconnecting reward with effort, rest after work, entertainment after deep focus, satisfaction after completion. Slow, intentional living helps. Reading deeply, eating mindfully, walking without headphones, doing one task at a time. Recovery is not perfection, it is consistency. Every return strengthens new neural pathways. Chapter 5. Building Real Discipline, From Struggle to System. Real discipline is not internal struggle, it is system design. Structure replaces motivation. Fixed waking times, clear work periods, planned breaks. Small commitments rebuild trust with yourself. Even tiny tasks matter. Reduce daily decisions to preserve mental energy. Identity-based discipline is key. I am a disciplined person, not I am trying to be disciplined. Quiet discipline is sustainable because it avoids internal conflict. Chapter 6. Deep Work, Restoring True Productivity. Deep work is the first ability destroyed by dopamine overload. The solution is protecting attention, no interruptions, no notifications, single task focus. Depth must be trained gradually. 20 minutes, then 30, then 40. Start before you feel ready. Clarity comes after action. Healthy effort feels different from distraction fatigue. It is clean, satisfying exhaustion. Rest must be low stimulation. Silence, walking, sleep. Meaning fuels focus. The clearer the purpose, the easier the depth. Chapter 7. Identity, When Discipline Becomes Who You Are. True change happens when discipline becomes identity. Behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as undisciplined, you will act accordingly. Small wins reshape identity. Showing up, completing tasks, resisting distractions. Silent discipline is powerful because it is internal, not performative. Relapses do not erase identity. Quick recovery strengthens it. Chapter 8. Life After Discipline, Meaning and Freedom. Life after discipline is not restriction. It is clarity. Simple things regain meaning. Focus becomes natural. Presence returns. True reward becomes internal satisfaction, not instant stimulation. Freedom means choosing actions consciously, not being driven by impulses. Discipline is not deprivation, it is liberation. Chapter 9. Sustainability, Avoiding Relapse. Sustainability depends on awareness, systems, and environment. Self-monitoring is key. Is this helping me or draining me? Routines protect stability. Occasional silence resets the mind. Progress must be managed, not chased. Meaning must be renewed continuously. Occasional pleasure is not failure, if it is conscious. Discipline is not a phase, it is a lifestyle. Conclusion, reclaiming your mind and life. The real battle was never against technology or pleasure, it was against loss of internal control. Focus issues, procrastination, and lack of motivation are not character flaws, but reversible patterns. Discipline is not self-punishment, it is self-respect. Freedom comes not from satisfying every desire, but from choosing consciously. Your mind is not meant to be exhausted, it is meant to be guided. The journey does not end with reading. It begins with a single small action that restores control and returns dopamine to its rightful place. A servant, not a master.